I'm in a class where I have to make sound effects for movies using a random array of objects. And I got a little too into it. So some eagle-eyed viewers may recall a past vlog in which I told a story about a class I took here at school last year, a film class, in which I had the honor of performing the sound effects for Indiana Jones's footsteps in a scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, as part of a class exercise. It was a treat, a rush, and a whirlwind. I'll never forget it. In fact, I loved it so much that I signed up for a class this year that is all about making custom sound effects for movies. An art known as Foley. And I love this class. It's super fun. It's basically just hitting things against other things until it sounds cool and recording it. Ladies and gentlemen, my college education. This was worth all those AP and honors classes in high school. All leading up to this. Definitely putting my scholarship to use. Stepping stones leading me on a path to here. Higher education. Bang things together to make sound. Okay, sorry, I can't get over this. Anyway, on the first day of class, my professor, who's really into Foley, like a lot, mucho folio, if you know what I mean, said, it's not enough to just make a sound, mechanically, you know? You have to feel what's happening on screen. You have to give it texture and purpose. You have to be the sound. And at the time, it sounded weird, and like every artsy professor ever. But now I'm thinking I may have taken his advice a little too seriously. The other day, my class and I are assigned to provide sound effects for a scene in which an airplane is falling apart and crashing. Very complex, lots of moving parts, lots of crazy noises, lots of Dennis Quaid grimacing. I don't know why he was there, but he was. And I got really into it. I mean, I was spinning the wheel of a wheelchair and grinding a piece of metal against it to make a propeller noise, and I was whipping things against the floor, you know? And at one point, I was tasked with providing a low rumbling sound to play through the entire scene. So I grabbed the rumble board, which is this big, thin wooden board that you can shake to make a low rumbling noise, and I steel myself. And as usual, the 3 beeps play. Beep, beep, beep. And then we're recording, and the scene starts playing out on the screen in front of me. And I start shaking the board, softly at first, but then harder and faster and harder and faster and harder and faster. And I can feel myself heating up, my face getting flushed. I mean, I'm putting everything I have into this as I'm watching this plane get torn apart. And I shake it more and more and more, and I gradually become aware of the fact that my face is contorted into this grimace of concentration. A grimace that would give even pilot Dennis Quaid a run for his money. So I throw in a little chuckle to make it seem like I'm kidding around. You know, like I'm not taking myself too seriously. But obviously I am. Suddenly the scene ends, and a few seconds later, I stop shaking the board. And I see that everyone is staring at me. Concerned expressions on their faces. I unclench my fingers from the board. They're literally sore and my knuckles are white. And I start breathing normally again. One of my friends says, "Are you alright? Your face looked really intense." And another guy says, "Yeah, your ears actually turned red." And I look around and just tell them the truth. "Yeah, sorry. I lost myself there. I was the rumble. I mean, everything else fell away. I was the sound. Parker, who's Parker? Never heard of him. Don't know, don't care. I am rumble. Hear me roar." And they laughed, of course, but I think part of them was legitimately concerned, and they should have been. I mean, even I don't fully understand what happened to me. It took me a few seconds to come back to myself, and that means it must have been serious. But at least I was passionate, I guess. I suppose the lesson here is, when you're passionate about something, sometimes you have to totally give yourself over to it. And that can be an amazing and rewarding feeling. But don't lose yourself completely in the process, because that could be a frightening experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go record sound effects for Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. So I have to be Davy Jones's tentacle beard. And it could be hard to come back from that one, so wish me the best. I'll catch you later.